it.
Welcome back to Dirtbike Magazine's video series, The 23s, where we take you up close and personal with all the 2023 motocross models in the 4-stroke versions available in the US today. Today we're getting a chance to ride the 2023 KTM 250SXF. The 2023 KTM 250SXF is basically the same exact thing as the 250 Factory Edition that was released about 6 to 8 months ago. Naturally, it doesn't have all the special edition parts to give it that overall flash factor, but most of those parts just added weight. And in the 250 class, weight is the enemy. KTM was very vocal about wanting more performance down low out of their 250. So like we said, if you're familiar with the 250 Factory Edition, you're familiar with this motorcycle. Same frame, same swing arms, same engine. It was all redesigned for the Factory Edition. Now it comes back without the bling. If you want all the in-depth specs, head over to Dirtbike Magazine. We're gonna go ride this thing and test it out. So we got our first day of testing in on the 2023 KTM 250SXF. Like we said before, it's not that much different than the Factory Edition. It's basically the Factory Edition without the bling parts. And those bling parts did add some substantial amount of weight. So this bike does work really well. The more aggressive you get with the motorcycle, the new chassis design, how they isolated the rear and the front, how they're working independently, it's really, really sensitive to setup. So you got to make sure you have it balanced to start off with. And then when you go in with clickers and stuff like that, it's really sensitive to those clicker adjustments. The harder you pound on the chassis, the better it seems to react. The engine's the same way. The more you rev that thing, the faster it goes. So it's pretty clear that KTM's going after the more aggressive rider and the rider that's going to ring it out on top and really hammer stuff into the turns. If you're maybe a little bit more of a timid rider, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for you because you got to really hammer this bike. They're wanting a more aggressive style all the way around. The more aggressive on this bike you are, engine-wise and chassis-wise, the better it's going to react. So again, this is the first day of testing on this motorcycle, but the chassis is identical on the 350, the 450, and the 250. So we've had a lot of time on chassis with different engine configurations, and we've had a lot of time now on some of the off-road models that are closed course competition, having the same exact chassis, same exact engine setup, besides some stuff in the transmission on certain models. This model is definitely going to suit the more aggressive rider and aggressive setup all the way around. So if you're a fast novice, maybe a slower intermediate, all the way up to the pro ranks, this is the bike for you. This bike is kind of purposely built. It does fit in with more of a racy kind of atmosphere, and really high speed tracks, it excels. On some of the tighter tracks, you might want to do some gearing changes and get it to where you're kind of out of first gear a little bit more, and you might want to switch around the map a little bit. It does have the on the fly map switch to where you can go from a more aggressive map to a less aggressive map. Myself personally, I like the more aggressive map. It just gives you a lot of mid and top end power, and you don't really lose a lot of the bottom end. So on a side note, if you're not one of those guys that's looking to buy a bike that has the first year, all the brand new stuff, and you want something that maybe has a proven chassis and proven engine, and you're not on the aggressive side, check out the 2023 GASGAS. It's essentially last year's model of the KTM. So again, this is our first day of testing on this motorcycle. We're gonna do a lot more testing and then throw it in the ring with all the other 2023 models and see where it comes out. If you got a little bit more time on your hands and you want to check out some of the other 2023 250F 4-stroke models that we've tested from the other manufacturers, hit the video thumbnail now, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, because then that keeps you up to date on all of our latest releases. If you're looking for some moto industry news, head over to dirtbikemagazine.com.